No one owes you success. No one owes you a second chance, a shortcut, or a handout. And the sooner you accept that, the faster your life starts to change. Are you tired of waiting? Tired of hoping someone will notice your potential or give you a break? Then this message is for you. Today's video will challenge the way you think, push you to take full control, and show you how to stop depending on anyone else to give you what you can build yourself. It's time to act like no one owes you anything, because they don't. What happens when you finally stop waiting and start doing the hard work yourself? What shifts when you take full ownership of your future? Stay with me, because this isn't just motivation, it's a wake-up call. This is the reminder your future self will thank you for. Watch this to the end, and start becoming who you were meant to be. Number 1, take full control of your life, starting today. You don't change your life by waiting for the perfect moment. You change your life the day you get honest with yourself. Right now. Today. That's where it begins. Face your flaws. Not next week. Not when you feel more motivated. Right now. You already know what's holding you back. You already know what you're avoiding. And deep down, you know that blaming the world, blaming your past, blaming other people, none of that changes your future. The truth is, the longer you keep pointing the finger, the more power you give away. And life doesn't wait for people who hesitate. If your life is not where you want it to be, face that reality. Own it. Every inch of it. Because the moment you take full responsibility, the moment you say this is on me, is the moment your life begins to shift. You'll stop making excuses. You'll stop feeling like a victim. You'll stop wasting time wishing things were different, and start making them different. Most people live their entire lives running from themselves. They keep busy. They scroll. They distract. They numb the truth with comfort. But what they really fear is sitting down, looking in the mirror, and facing the parts of themselves they don't want to admit are real. That they're lazy, that they've been lying to themselves, that they've been avoiding the hard conversations, that they talk big but do small. But growth only begins when you stop running and start facing. When I was young, I used to blame everything. I'd say, if only I had better opportunities. If only the government were different. If only my boss appreciated me. I had a long list. But then one day, I met a mentor who told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change." That one sentence flipped a switch in my mind. I realized the world didn't owe me anything. My boss didn't owe me appreciation. The government didn't owe me better opportunities. And my past, that was already written. What mattered was what I decided to do now. You see, most people aren't lazy. They're just afraid. Afraid of failing. Afraid of trying and still not being good enough. So they hold on to blame like a blanket. It gives them comfort. It gives them a reason. But it also keeps them stuck. If you're serious about changing your life, start by asking the hardest question you can ask yourself. What am I doing to cause my own problems? That's a tough one, but it's also the key. Because if you caused it, you can change it. If it's in your hands, you're not helpless, and that's power. You've got to stop pretending that someday you'll suddenly feel ready. You won't. Readiness is a lie. Action creates readiness. Courage comes from doing the thing you're afraid of. Confidence comes after discipline, not before. Stop waiting for inspiration and start building it through movement. If you're out of shape, it's not because your genetics are cursed. It's because you're not doing the work. If you're broke, it's not because the system is unfair. It's because you haven't taken control of your financial habit. If you're alone, it's not because everyone else is bad. It's because you haven't learned how to become someone others want to be around. Those are hard truths, but that's what makes them powerful. And listen, this isn't about self-shame. This isn't about beating yourself up. That's not the goal. This is about looking at your life with honesty, with clarity, with courage. When you admit your flaws, when you stop hiding, you stop being weak. You start becoming strong. Because now you're living in truth. And truth is where transformation begins. Maybe your childhood was hard. Maybe you were let down. Maybe you never had someone push you or believe in you. That matters. But you know what matters more? What you choose to do now. You can't go back. You can't rewrite those pages, but you are holding the pen today. So write something better, not next year, today. Start holding yourself to higher standards. Start showing up like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your future doesn't get written by wishful thinking. It gets written by daily discipline, by consistent action, by refusing to lie to yourself one more day. Take full responsibility for your thoughts. The way you think either builds your future or breaks it. You can't afford to spend your days thinking negative, weak, or lazy thoughts. You've got to train your mind like an athlete trains their body every single day. Take full responsibility for your time. Every hour you waste is an hour you never get back. The clock is not your friend. It doesn't wait. You can either master time or be mastered by it. Take full responsibility for your choices. Every decision adds up. What you eat, what you say, who you hang around, what you tolerate. It's all shaping your destiny. You can't keep making weak decisions and expect a strong life. Stop looking for a savior. No one is coming to rescue you. There is no magic moment. There is no perfect advice. There's just you, your decisions, and the life you choose to create. When you really take control of your life, you'll feel it. You'll stop complaining. You'll start building. You'll stop chasing comfort. You'll start chasing growth. You'll stop saying, "Why me?" and start saying, "Watch me." And suddenly life will stop happening to you and start happening because of you. People will notice. Your energy will shift. Your habits will change. You'll stop needing approval. You'll stop needing attention. You'll start living on purpose, not by accident. So right now, decide that today is the day. The day you stop lying. The day you stop blaming. The day you stop waiting. The day you stand up. Look your life straight in the eye and say, "I'm in charge now." Because the truth is, no one's going to do it for you. You want a better life? Build it. You want respect? Earn it. You want success? Work for it. You want peace? Create it. Everything you want is possible, but only if you take full control of your life starting today. Now go prove. Number 2, build your future without waiting for help. No one is coming to build your dream. It's on you. That's the truth most people avoid their entire lives. They wait. They hope. They expect someone to show up with answers, with support, with money, with time. But the truth is, no matter how much you wish for help, no one is as invested in your future as you. And the longer you wait for someone to carry you, the further you fall behind. Your life does not move forward by hoping someone saves you. It moves forward when you stop waiting and start building. People say they're stuck. They're lost. They feel overlooked. What they really mean is they've been depending on someone else to do the hard work for them. They've been waiting for the perfect conditions, the right timing, the kind words, the helping hand. But all of that waiting is just an excuse wrapped in fear. You want a future that means something, then you've got to start building it with your own 2 hands. No crutches, no shortcuts, no guarantees, just you and the decision to take full control, whether you feel ready or not. Nobody owes you an opportunity. Nobody owes you encouragement. Nobody owes you time, energy, or money. That's your job, your life, your rules, your responsibility. That's the truth that sets you free. And that's the truth that most people never want to hear. Most people want someone to believe in them first. They say, if someone just gave me a chance, I'd show them. No, you show them before they give you the chance. That's how it works. You do the work when no one is watching. You build when nobody claps for you. You grind when the world doesn't care. And here's what happens. Slowly, people do start to notice, but not because you waited for help, because you showed the world what you were made of without it. You need to stop measuring your progress based on other people's attention. Most of the early wins in life are invisible. The late nights, the quiet mornings, the rejection, the sacrifices. Nobody sees those but you. That's where your future is being built. Not in applause, not in likes, not in praise, but in private. When you choose to keep going even though no one is helping. You can't outsource your growth. You can't delegate your ambition. No one's going to build your discipline. No one's going to hand you resilience. Those are things you have to earn through action, through failing, learning, adjusting, and pushing forward anyway. Yes, you're tired. Yes, it's unfair. Yes, others had it easier. But none of that changes your reality. And if you waste time wishing things were different, you'll lose the very power you need to change your life. You have to work with what you have, right now, not later. There will be people who ignore you. There will be days when everything feels like it's falling apart. You'll feel small, you'll feel unseen, and you'll want to quit. That's when you have to remember this. If you quit now, you're handing over your future to the people who never even showed up to help you in the first place. You've got to become the kind of person who keeps building when no one shows up. The kind of person who takes one more step when the rest of the world tells you to sit down. That's strength. That's ownership. That's what it takes. You don't need perfect timing. You need to take action. You don't need permission. You need to trust yourself. You don't need someone to believe in you. You need to be the person who believes when no one else will. You don't become successful by chance. You become successful by showing up when it's hard, when it's dark, when no one is watching, when it would be easier to stop. Your future will not be handed to you. It must be built with discipline, with courage, with fire in your chest, and pain in your legs, and doubt in your mind. And still, you move forward, because that's what builders do. If you grew up with nothing, build anyway. If no one supports you, build anyway. If people laugh at your goals, build anyway. If you fail 10 times, build anyway. You build because it's your life. You build because waiting gets you nowhere. You build because this is your future, and no one else is going to fight for it the way you can. People will always have opinions. They'll say it's too late. They'll say you're not smart enough. They'll say it's too risky. They'll say, why don't you just wait until someone helps you? But what they really mean is, why don't you play it safe? Like I. Don't take advice from people who settled. Don't copy the mindset of someone who gave up on their dream. You've got one life, one chance to build something meaningful. Don't waste it waiting for someone to push you. Push yourself. The time you spend hoping for help, spend that time learning. Time you spend feeling sorry for yourself, spend that time planning. The time you spend watching others, spend that time working. Because while most people wait, winners work. While most people hope, winners act. And while most people talk, winners build. So here's the choice in front of you. Keep waiting for someone to carry you, or get up and carry yourself. Every single person who ever made something out of nothing started with this one belief: I can do this without needing anyone to save me. And they weren't always right. They failed. They struggled, but they kept moving. And that's what made the difference. You're not weak for doing it alone. You're strong because you chose to. You're not behind, you're just in the part of your story where the pressure builds before the breakthrough. Keep going. You don't need a map if you're willing to build the road. You don't need applause if you're building something that matters. You don't need a team right now. You need commitment. And if you give your future everything you've got today, you'll wake up tomorrow with more strength than you had yesterday. Because that's how self-built people grow. One hard decision at a time. So stop waiting, stop hope, stop searching for a shortcut. Start building, and don't stop until your future is too loud for the world to ignore. Number 3, own every mistake and learn from each one. You cannot grow into the person you were meant to be until you stop hiding from the mistakes you made. You cannot lead your life with confidence until you start owning every single one of them. That's where real change begins. Not in pretending, not in denying, but in taking full, honest responsibility for what went wrong and learning from it with intention. You will never build a strong life if you're too proud to admit when you're wrong. Pride is cheap. Progress costs something. It costs your ego. It costs your excuses. It costs the little lies you tell yourself to sleep better at night. And most people, they're not willing to pay that price. That's why they stay stuck, year after year, repeating the same cycles, attracting the same pain, suffering the same consequences, all because they refuse to say the hardest words in personal growth. I was wrong, and I take full responsibility. You've got to be the one who breaks that cycle. Not tomorrow. Now, you've got to be the one who looks at your past not with shame, but with strategy. Not to beat yourself up, but to study it like a map. What went wrong? What did you ignore? Where did you lie to yourself? Where did you go left when you should have gone right? Until you ask those questions, you'll keep carrying the same pain into new seasons of your life. Different relationships, same patterns, different jobs, same problems, different plans, same results. And here's the brutal truth. Nothing changes until you change. And change begins with a clean, honest look at the choices that brought you here. People don't fail because of their mistakes. They fail because they refuse to learn from them. They pretend the mistake never happened. They blame someone else. They tell themselves a softer version of the truth, so they don't have to feel the sting of regret. But regret isn't your enemy. Regret is a teacher. If you're willing to listen, if you sit with it long enough, it will show you exactly what to do next. Mistakes are only toxic when you deny them, but when you face them, they become the foundation of your growth. You stop repeating what broke you. You stop trusting what betrayed you. You stop expecting different results from the same broken habit. I've seen people lose everything, not because they weren't smart, not because they weren't capable, but because they refused to take responsibility for what they did wrong. And every time they were corrected, they got defensive. Every time life gave them feedback, they ran from it. But listen closely. Your life is trying to teach you something. And if you don't listen, you will relive it. We all mess up. We say things we regret. We waste time. We trust the wrong people. We skip the work and hope for shortcuts. But you can't undo what's been done. What you can do is make sure it doesn't happen again. That's where maturity begins. That's where strength comes from. No one becomes powerful by getting everything right. They become powerful because they stop pretending they always have. That honesty, that humility, that's where real confidence comes from. Because when you've stared your mistakes in the face and taken full ownership, you stop fearing failure. You stop worrying about what people think. You've already been in the fire. Now you're ready to build something that lasts. When you take ownership of your mistakes, you take back your power. You stop saying they did this to me and start saying, here's what I did, here's what I missed, and here's what I'll never do again. That mindset, that's what separates the people who grow from the people who you have to be willing to say, yes, that was my decision, and I see now it was the wrong one. I own it, I don't hide it, and I will grow from it. You want to talk about real strength? That's it. Not the fake strength that comes from pretending, not the shallow image of perfection, but the deep, unshakable confidence that comes from confronting your own flaws and saying, they no longer control me. There's something powerful that happens the moment you stop defending your past. You free yourself. You create space for growth. You become someone worth following, not because you're perfect, but because you're real, because you're grounded in truth. And truth is where transformation begins. Look around you. How many people do you see owning their lives fully? Not many. Most people are busy hiding, denying, shifting blame. They live small because they're afraid of what they'll find if they look too closely at themselves. But you're not here to live small. You're not here to protect your ego. You're here to become someone better. So ask yourself, where did I go wrong? What decision led me here? What did I ignore that I knew deep down needed my attention? What was I too afraid to admit? That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. That's how you stop repeating the same story. And when you find the answer, don't run from it. Sit with it. Own it. Forgive yourself. Not to forget, but to release the weight so you can rise again. And this time, rise with wisdom. Rise with clarity. Rise with the strength of someone who knows the cost of a mistake and refuses to pay it twice. People respect honesty. They respect someone who's been through failure and didn't let it define them. And more than anything, your future self will thank you, because the version of you 5 years from now is being shaped right now by how you handle your regrets, by how you process your pain, by how honest you're willing to be with yourself. You're not broken because you made mistakes. You become broken when you refuse to face them. But if you're brave enough to look at your mess and say, that was me, and I'm going to make it right, then there is no limit to how far you can go. That's what rebuilds trust. That's what builds character. That's how you walk into the next season of your life stronger, sharper, and more self-aware than ever before. The road to your next level is built on accountability, and accountability starts with you. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can carry your regrets for you. You've got to be the one who looks at every loss, every lie, every poor decision, and decides, this ends here. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to live ashamed, but you do have to own your part. You do have to grow from it, because the life you want, it doesn't come from running away from your past. It comes from using your past as a lesson, not a limit. So take a breath, look yourself in the mirror, and start today. Own every mistake, not just the small ones, all of them, and commit to being the person who turns them into power. Because the truth is, the ones who rise the highest are the ones who took responsibility when it was hardest to do. And if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to own your life fully, there's not a single thing you can't overcome. Now go. Be bold enough to face your truth. Be strong enough to learn from it. And be wise enough to never forget what it taught you. Number 4, stop blaming others and fix your mindset now. If your life isn't where you want it to be, the worst thing you can do is blame someone else for it. The second you point your finger at others, your parents, your boss, your partner, your past, you hand over your power. And when you do that, you lock yourself inside a prison that only you have the key to. Blaming feels good for a moment. It's easy. It makes you feel like you're off the hook. But in the end, it does absolutely nothing to fix your situation. Nothing changes when your focus is on what everyone else did wrong. You want your life to change? Stop looking out there and start looking in here, right here. Your mind, your choices, your beliefs, your attitude. That's the only place where real change can happen. There comes a point where you have to stop repeating the same story to yourself. The one where you're the victim. The one where everything happens to you. The one where nothing's ever your fault. You've got to catch yourself when you start falling into that mindset and shift fast. Because blaming others doesn't protect you. It keeps you small. It keeps you stuck. It convinces you that your situation is fixed and you have no say in the outcome. But that's not true. You always have a say. You always have a choice. Even if you didn't create the problem, you still have the power to solve it. And that's where everything begins. Your mindset, what you tell yourself, how you choose to think. That's the foundation of every action you take, every emotion you feel, and every result you get. Your mindset isn't something that happens to you. It's something you train every day. Just like a muscle, if you feed it with blame, you'll stay weak. If you feed it with responsibility, you grow stronger. Start noticing the way you think when things go wrong. Do you immediately look for someone else to blame? Do you look for the easy excuse? Or do you stop and ask yourself, what part of this do I control? What part of this can I change? What lesson is trying to show up right now? Because that's what people with strong minds do. They ask better questions. They take ownership, and that ownership creates momentum. Blame, on the other hand, kills momentum. It creates a mindset where you wait instead of act, where you complain instead of create, where you repeat the same problems and call it bad luck, when really it's just bad thinking. And if you keep that mindset long enough, you start to believe that life is unfair, that people are out to get you, that you're cursed. But none of that is true. You're not cursed. You're just stuck in a story that needs to end. It's time to write a new one where you're in charge, one where your past doesn't define your future, one where your pain becomes your purpose, not your excuse. Some people never make that shift. They blame their parents for how they were raised and use it as an excuse to never grow up. They blame their job for their misery, but never build a way out. They blame the economy, the system, the world, and never stop to ask what they can do differently. You cannot afford to live that way, because every day you stay in that mindset is a day you waste the potential inside you. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest trap, and you decide which one it is. But you can't change what you refuse to take responsibility for, and you can't fix what you constantly blame someone else for breaking. You have to decide, do you want to be right, or do you want to be free? Because blaming others might feel right in the moment. It might feel like justice. But freedom, that only comes when you say enough. I'm not waiting for them to change. I'm changing myself. That's what strength looks like. Not avoiding the pain, facing it. Not escaping responsibility, stepping into it. And it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It just means you have to be honest. Honest about your pattern. Honest about your mindset. Honest about what's not working. The truth is, we've all blamed someone at some point. We've all played the victim. That's human. But staying in that place, that's a choice. One that costs you every single day. Your life gets better when your thoughts get better. When your self-talk gets stronger. When you stop saying I can't and start asking how can I? When you stop saying it's their fault and start asking what's my next move? That mindset shift is what separates those who make progress from those who stay stuck. Your reality is shaped by what you focus on. If you focus on everything that went wrong, everything that hurt you, everything they did to you, you'll feel helpless. But if you shift your focus to your response, to your choices, your habits, your goals, you step back into power. You start seeing options. You start seeing solutions. You start seeing yourself as the one who's capable of turning things around. That doesn't mean it's easy. Fixing your mindset takes work. It takes patience. It takes awareness. It means catching yourself when your thoughts get negative and choosing to redirect. It means choosing discipline over distraction, choosing self-control over self-pity, choosing growth over blame. And that's not a one-time thing. That's a daily battle, one you have to win every morning when you wake up. Start by taking inventory of your thoughts. What are you feeding your mind every day? What do you say to yourself when no one's listening? Would you speak to someone you love the way you speak to yourself? Because if not, something needs to change. This is about becoming mentally stronger, not by chance, by choice. Every single day you have the opportunity to fix your mindset and take your life back. But you can't do that if you're still pointing fingers. The person responsible for your future is you, no one else. Not your boss, not your partner, not your past, not your circumstances. You want real freedom? It's not found in control. It's found in responsibility. That's the key. The moment you say, I own this, You unlock doors that have been closed for years. You start seeing the power you had all along. The confidence, the clarity, the strength. It's always been there. You just couldn't access it while you were stuck in blame. Now is the time to decide what kind of person you want to be. One who reacts, or one who responds. One who blames, or one who builds. One who stays stuck in the past, or one who creates a future that makes the pain worth it. You are capable of more than you realize, but you'll never access that potential until you let go of the story that says someone else is holding you back. They're not. Only your thinking is. And the moment you shift your mindset is the moment you break A. So make the shift. Take back control. Stop blaming others. Fix your mindset now. And start building the life you were meant to live. Because once your mind is free, everything else will follow. Number 5, push through failure without expecting sympathy. Failure doesn't ask for your permission to happen. And it certainly won't wait around for anyone to feel sorry for you. It hits hard and fast. And if you're expecting sympathy, you're already losing the fight. The truth is that nobody owes you comfort when you fall. Not your friends, not your family, not the world. Pushing through failure is a battle you must face alone, fueled by a fire inside you that refuses to be extinguished by disappointment or pain. When life knocks you down, the temptation to seek sympathy is real. You want someone to say, "It's okay, you tried your best." You want a shoulder to cry on, or an explanation that justifies why things went wrong. But here's the cold reality. Waiting for others to comfort you only delays your comeback. Sympathy might feel good for a moment, but it will never get you closer to your goals. Growth demands action, not pity. Every setback you face is a moment of truth. It exposes how much you really want what you're chasing. When the crowd fades away, when the applause stops, when the warm words disappear, will you still get up and move forward? Or will you let the silence and the ache drown your ambition? The people who succeed don't wait for applause or sympathy. They rise on their own strength, even when the world looks the other way. Remember this: the world is indifferent to your pain. Life doesn't slow down because you're hurting. It keeps moving, relentless and unforgiving. Your competition doesn't pause to comfort you. Your dreams don't wait until you feel ready or supported. If you expect sympathy, you'll find yourself waiting forever in a place of helplessness and frustration. There is power in embracing failure without expecting anything in return. When you stop looking for a pat on the back and start looking for the lesson hidden in every defeat, you unlock a level of resilience few ever reach. This resilience is not about denying your feelings or pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging the hurt and choosing to move beyond it anyway. It's about refusing to let temporary setbacks dictate the story of your life. Imagine a time when everything went wrong. Maybe you lost a job, failed a test, or had a relationship fall apart. Feel the weight of that moment, the sinking feeling in your chest, the nights spent questioning yourself, the fear that you might never recover. Now ask yourself, how long did you stay there? How long did you wait for someone else to tell you it was going to be okay? And what happened when that comfort didn't come? Those moments are a crossroads. You can choose to stay in the place of hurt and blame, or you can choose to rise and rebuild. But rising requires strength. A strength that doesn't depend on others' approval or sympathy. It depends on your decision to keep going when every part of you wants to stop. Pushing through failure means training your mind to ignore the voices that say give up. It means silencing the thoughts that whisper, "You're not good enough." It means moving forward even when the pain is loudest, when your energy is lowest, and when the future looks uncertain. This kind of strength doesn't come from outside encouragement. It comes from a deep commitment to yourself and your vision. There is no shortcut to this. No one can do it for you. No one can carry your burdens or fight your battles, and that's why it's so rare. Most people quit when things get tough because they expect others to catch them. They look for sympathy, and when it doesn't come, they fall apart. But those who keep pushing through the hardest times, those are the ones who change their lives. Think about a time when you saw someone overcome odds. Maybe it was an athlete who got injured, but came back stronger. Maybe it was an entrepreneur who failed multiple times before finding success. None of them succeeded because people felt sorry for them. They succeeded because they refused to give up when the world stopped cheering. You have to build that same refusal. Build a mindset that says, "I will keep going, no matter what." Because pushing through failure without expecting sympathy isn't just about surviving. It's about becoming unstoppable. It's about developing a grit so strong That setbacks become stepping stones instead of roadblocks. This requires a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of waiting for others to understand, ask yourself, how can I understand myself better? Instead of seeking comfort, ask, how can I create my own strength? The people who master this approach don't just get through failure, they grow because of it. They develop qualities that sympathy can never give: resilience, discipline, self-reliance, and an unshakable belief in their own power to create change. Imagine waking up each day knowing that no matter what happens, you have the strength to face it alone. Not because you want to be isolated, but because you trust enough to keep moving forward even in the toughest moments. That kind of confidence transforms everything. It frees you from the chains of expectation and places your success squarely in your own hand. When you push through failure without expecting sympathy, you become the author of your own story. You stop waiting for others to validate your worth. You stop needing permission to succeed. You take your power back and use it to build a life no one can take away. That's the mindset that changes dreams into realities. It's the mindset that separates those who live passively from those who live purposefully. And it's the mindset that will carry you through every challenge you face in your journey. So start today. Embrace failure as a necessary part of growth. Stop waiting for the world to comfort you and start comforting yourself with action. Show up for your life with relentless determination and an unbreakable spirit. You have what it takes to rise. You have what it takes to succeed, but only if you push forward when no one else is there to push you. Choose to be that person. Choose to be unstoppable and watch your life transform because you refuse to stop moving, no matter what. Number 6, earn respect by working harder than anyone else. Respect is not given. It is earned in the quiet moments when no one is watching and the world expects you to quit. If you want respect, real respect, you must be willing to work harder than anyone else. Not because you want to impress others, but because you want to prove to yourself what you are truly capable of. Respect is the result of relentless effort, sweat, and determination poured into every hour of your day, long after the applause has faded. The reality is that success is crowded with people who want shortcuts and easy wins. But respect belongs to those who refuse shortcuts. It belongs to those who show up before sunrise and stay long after sunset. It belongs to those who push their limits daily. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's necessary. When you work harder than anyone else, you become unstoppable. You build a foundation that no one can shake. Think about the people you admire the most. It's not their luck or talent that earned your respect. It's their grit. It's their willingness to do the tough, often unseen work that others avoid. They've made sacrifices that no one hears about. They've pushed through exhaustion, rejection, and failure. Not once, but repeatedly. That kind of effort commands respect because it proves they are committed to something greater than themselves. You might wonder, what does working harder actually look like? It's not just about longer hours. It's about smarter, more focused effort. It's about showing up with purpose even when motivation fades. It's about pushing through resistance and doing the work that others skip. When everyone else gives up, you push harder. When others settle for good enough, you demand excellence. That relentless mindset builds more than just skills. It builds character. There will be moments when your body wants to quit, when your mind doubts you, when the world seems indifferent to your struggle. Those are the moments that define you. The people who earn respect don't wait for perfect conditions. They create their own. They stay disciplined. They grind silently, knowing that every drop of sweat brings them closer to the life they want. Respect is not something you can fake or demand. It's not about talking louder or trying to prove yourself to others. It's earned through consistency, the small daily victories that add up over time. It's earned through integrity in your work, the commitment to do your best no matter who's watching. When you consistently outwork everyone else, respect becomes a natural byproduct. The path to earning respect will challenge every part of you. You will need to develop patience to keep going when progress feels invisible. You will need courage to face failure without giving up. You will need humility to learn from your mistakes and keep improving. These qualities don't come overnight. They are forged in the fire of hard work and persistence. Remember that respect also comes from the sacrifices you make. When you say no to distractions and temptations, when you prioritize your goals over instant gratification, you demonstrate a level of discipline few possess. People respect those who control themselves, who put in the work while others waste time. This control builds confidence, which in turn attracts respect. Many people talk about working hard, but few truly understand what it demands. It requires more than effort. It demands relentless focus and an unbreakable mindset. You must be willing to do what others won't. You must be willing to push through boredom, fatigue, and doubt. When you do, you develop a resilience that no failure or setback can shake. Working harder than anyone else also means embracing responsibility. It means owning your goals and your failure. It means not blaming circumstances or waiting for someone else to solve your problems. When you take full responsibility and put in the work, respect naturally follows. People see your dedication and commitment, and they recognize your strength. Think of respect as a currency that you invest through your daily actions. Each hour you spend learning, each challenge you overcome, each moment you resist giving up, it's all a deposit toward your respect account. Over time, these deposits accumulate into a powerful reputation, one built not on words or promises, but on proven effort and results. Don't expect respect to come overnight or as a gift. It's a long game that requires consistent investment. You will face moments of doubt and discouragement. People may overlook your efforts or underestimate your potential, but that is part of the journey. Your job is to keep working, keep growing, and keep proving to yourself that you are worth the respect you seek. Sometimes working harder means doing things others consider boring or beneath. It means showing up when no one else does and pushing through the tedious tasks that build your foundation. It means staying committed even when the excitement fades and only discipline remains. This kind of work is invisible to most, but it's what earns lasting respect. When you adopt this mindset, something powerful happens. Your focus shifts from seeking approval to building excellence. You stop trying to impress others and start impressing yourself. This internal drive is what sustains you when external recognition is absent. It's what pushes you to work late into the night, to learn more, to practice harder, and to refine your craft relentlessly. Respect earned through hard work also inspires others. It sets a standard that challenges those around you to elevate their game. When people see your dedication, they are drawn to your energy and commitment. This kind of respect is not just about personal achievement. It's about becoming a leader who lifts others by example. You will face critics who say working harder is outdated or unnecessary. They'll tell you to work smarter, not harder. But hard work and smart work aren't enemies. They're partners. You need both, and hard work builds the mental toughness and character that smart work alone cannot create. There is no substitute for the discipline of consistent effort. To earn respect, you must also be willing to face discomfort. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. It happens in the moments when you push beyond what feels easy and safe. Every time you choose to work harder, rather than settle, you grow stronger. You teach your mind and body that you're capable of more, and that message becomes your greatest asset. The hardest part of earning respect is often the loneliness. Most people won't understand why you're working so hard or making sacrifices. They might question your choices or doubt your vision. But respect doesn't require approval. It demands perseverance. Your commitment to working harder than anyone else is a promise you make to yourself, and that promise will carry you through the toughest times. If you want respect, start by setting your standards higher than anyone else's. Don't compete with others. Compete with your past self. Push yourself beyond yesterday's limits. Show up with relentless determination, even when motivation is low. Build habits that sustain your work ethic daily. This is how respect becomes inevitable. Ultimately, respect is the byproduct of a life lived with purpose, passion, and persistence. It's the result of countless hours invested in mastering your craft and building your character. When you work harder than anyone else, you earn more than respect. You earn the right to call yourself a champion of your own life. So make the choice today to outwork everyone, to rise before dawn, and grind after dusk, to keep pushing when others, because respect is waiting for those who prove they deserve it. Not through words, but through relentless, unstoppable action. Number 7, start from zero and prove what you're worth. No one is born with a guaranteed path or a head start in life. Every true success story begins with a clean slate and a fierce decision to prove their worth from the ground up. Starting from zero is not a setback. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to show the world exactly who you are, without any crutches, excuses, or inherited advantages. When you strip away everything and begin with nothing, what remains is raw determination, character, and the will to build something real. Imagine the freedom in starting over. No expectations. No past failures to hold you back. No legacy to live up to. Just you and the blank canvas ahead. It's terrifying and thrilling all at once. But most people run from that blank page because they're afraid of what others will think, or they don't believe in their own ability to rise again. They let fear and doubt silence their dreams before they even begin. But you don't have to be like most people. Starting from zero means taking full responsibility for your future and refusing to let your past define you. It means choosing to build your value day by day, hour by hour, with every decision you make. When you begin at zero, you are not limited by old habits or bad choices. You're free to craft new habits and rewrite your story from scratch. That's power few truly understand. This journey is not for the faint-hearted. It demands patience, because progress starts invisible. It requires courage to face criticism and skepticism. People will doubt you. They will question your potential because they only see your current circumstances, not your determination or vision. But your mission is to prove them wrong, not for their approval, but for your own sense of pride and purpose. Every morning when you wake up with nothing but your own effort to count on, you get to decide who you become. Do you give in to the weight of where you are, or do you use it as fuel to push harder? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to starting from zero. Success is not about what you begin with. It's about what you do with what you have. You don't need permission to start. You don't need a perfect plan or the approval of others. You need a mindset that refuses to settle. The mindset that sees zero as a starting line, not a finish line. That mindset understands that greatness is earned, step by step, and that every small action compounds into massive results over time. There's a lesson in every struggle you face when beginning at zero. Every rejection, every failure, every no is a piece of feedback shaping you into someone stronger and wiser. When you embrace these challenges as part of the process, you stop fearing them. You learn to welcome them because you know they're molding your character. And character, more than talent or luck, is what determines who lasts. The people who start from zero and prove their worth have a relentless hunger. They don't compare themselves to others. They don't let others' progress discourage them. Instead, they focus on their own growth and measure success by the distance traveled from where they began. That focus keeps them grounded and motivated when the road is long and the results slow. Think about the people you admire most in life. Many of them had to begin again after losing everything, or after never having much at all. Their worth wasn't handed to them. They earned it through consistency, resilience, and an unshakable belief in their own value. When you realize this, you see that your current zero isn't a limit. It's a launch pad. Starting from zero also means shedding the weight of comparison and external validation. You don't have to prove yourself to the world right away. Your primary goal is to prove yourself to yourself first. The internal battle to believe in your own worth is the most important fight you will ever face. Win that, and the world has no choice but to notice. It's natural to feel overwhelmed when you start from zero. The mountain ahead looks steep and unforgiving, but mountains are climbed one step at a time. Every small win matters. A habit formed, a skill learned, a connection made. Celebrate those wins, because they are the bricks building your foundation. They are the proof that you are moving forward, not standing still. One of the biggest mistakes people make when starting from zero is expecting overnight success. That kind of thinking leads to frustration and quitting. Real growth takes time, often years of hard work and sacrifice. But if you stay committed, the compound effect of your effort will surprise you. You'll look back one day and barely recognize the person who started from nothing. The key to proving your worth is showing up every day with intention, no matter how small the task. Do it with excellence. Every detail matters when you're building from the ground up. Excellence in the little things creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates results. This chain reaction is unstoppable once it starts. Don't let the fear of starting over keep you stuck. Every expert was once a beginner. Every leader was once unknown. Every successful person has faced moments when they had nothing but belief in themselves. What separates them is the decision to take action despite the fear and uncertainty. You might wonder how to begin. Start by setting clear goals that excite you. Break those goals into manageable steps. Focus on mastering fundamentals before chasing shortcuts. Surround yourself with people who support your vision, even if they don't fully understand it yet. And most importantly, keep your eyes on your own path. not someone else's. This journey will test your patience and strength. You will face setbacks and questions about your worth, but with every step forward, your self-belief will grow stronger. You will begin to see your own potential reflected back in your actions. That's when proving your worth stops being a challenge and becomes a lifestyle. Start from zero with confidence, knowing that you are more than your circumstances. You are a work in progress, a person building something valuable and lasting. Your worth is not measured by what you have now, but by the courage it takes to begin again. That courage is your true power. If you commit to this path, nothing can stop you. You will prove your worth, not just to others, but to yourself. You will transform your life, your mindset, and your future. And when you do, you'll inspire others who are standing where you once stood to start their own journey. The moment to begin is now. Don't wait for the perfect conditions or an easy path. Start from zero with fierce determination and unwavering faith in your ability to rise. Your future self will thank you for the courage you show today. Number 8, fight for your goals without needing permission. You don't need anyone's approval to claim the life you deserve. Waiting for permission is the biggest mistake you can make on the road to your dreams. Too many people get stuck, hoping for someone to say yes, to open a door, or to grant a favor before they take action. But the truth is, no one owes you a green light. Your goals are yours to fight for, and you have everything you need inside you right now to start winning. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation. Maybe it's from your family, your boss, your friends, or society. You want to hear that your plans make sense, that your ambitions aren't too big, or that your timing is right. But waiting for those nods and approvals only slows you down. Life doesn't hand out permission slips. It rewards the bold, the relentless, and the unshakable. If you want something, you have to be willing to take it without asking for permission first. Think about the people who have truly made a difference in this world. They didn't wait for a committee to say, go ahead. They took action despite resistance, despite doubt, and despite the risk of failure. They understood that progress belongs to those who act, not to those who wait. You have the right to fight for your goals fiercely and unapologetically, because your dreams belong to you, not to anyone else. Waiting for permission is giving your power away. It puts your life in someone else's hands, someone who doesn't share your passion, your urgency, or your vision. And that's a dangerous place to be. The sooner you realize you're the only one responsible for your success, the sooner you can start taking charge of your future. Permission is an illusion. Action is real. Your goals are valid just because you want them. They don't need validation to be important. You are enough to chase what you want, even if no one believes in you yet. The people who doubt you now will either become irrelevant or turn into witnesses of your success. You don't have to wait for anyone's permission to prove your worth. Your worth is demonstrated by your courage to begin and your willingness to keep going. Imagine the freedom that comes when you stop asking and start doing. When you treat your dreams as non-negotiable goals instead of hopes you have to get approval for. That mindset shift unleashes a power that changes everything. It forces you to take responsibility for your results, to solve your own problems, and to create opportunities where none exist. That kind of power makes you unstoppable. One of the hardest battles you'll face is overcoming the voice inside that asks, am I allowed to do this? It's a voice shaped by past doubts, criticisms, or limitations others placed on you. But that voice is lying. You were born with the right to pursue your goal. No one can take that away. But you can give it away by hesitating or asking for permission. Every time you act without waiting, you silence that doubt a little more. You will face resistance outside and inside yourself. Some will tell you to wait your turn or play it safe. Others will discourage you because they can't see your vision or don't want you to succeed. That's normal. The people who say no or try to hold you back don't own your life. Their opinions don't define your path. Fighting for your goals without permission means ignoring the noise and focusing on your mission. When you act boldly, doors open that you never expected. Opportunities come your way not because you asked, but because you showed up with confidence and determined. People respect those who take charge of their own destiny, even if they don't fully understand the journey. Respect follows action, not waiting. Though you fight for your goals with conviction, the more momentum you build. It's crucial to understand that fighting for your goals isn't about reckless risk or ignoring consequences. It's about calculated courage. It's about believing in your ability to adapt learn, and overcome obstacles. It's about trusting your inner voice more than outside opinion. That kind of trust fuels persistence and makes every setback a stepping stone instead of a stop sign. You have to build resilience to keep fighting when the path gets tough. Without permission, the journey can feel lonely. Without validation, it can feel uncertain. But that's where champions are made. When no one else is cheering, you become your own biggest supporter. When no one believes in you, you become your own strongest believer. That internal strength is what turns dreams into reality. Every day you wait for permission, you lose precious time. Time others use get ahead. Time you could have spent building, creating, and moving closer to your vision. Don't let hesitation steal your future. Take your goals by the horns and fight for them with everything you've got. That fight isn't easy, but it's worth it. It defines who you are and what you're capable of. Remember, permission is an illusion created by fear. Fear tells you to wait, to doubt, to question your worth. But action destroys fear. Each step you take without asking builds confidence and weakens that fear. It tells your mind that you are serious, that you are committed, and that you will not be stopped by anyone's permission or lack thereof. Your goals deserve your full effort and determination. They deserve your courage to act boldly. They deserve your refusal to wait or apologize for your ambition. Fighting for your goals without needing permission is about owning your power and demanding the life you want. It's about recognizing that your potential isn't limited by others' opinions, but only by your willingness to act. When you live this way, you become a force that can't be ignored. You inspire others simply by refusing to wait for approval. You create momentum that carries you through doubt, fear, and setback. Your life becomes a powerful example of what's possible when you take control and fight for what matters most. The decision to fight for your goals without permission is one of the most empowering choices you can make. It puts you in the driver's seat of your destiny and frees you from the chains of expectation and limitation. It is the key to unlocking your true potential and creating a life that reflects your highest vision. So don't wait for anyone else to say yes. Don't ask for permission to dream, to act, or to succeed. Claim your right to fight for your goals fiercely and unapologetically, starting right now. When you do, you step into a power that transforms your future and ignites the world around you. Number 9. Stop waiting and do the hard work yourself. No one is coming to rescue you, and the longer you wait, the further you fall behind. If you want change, if you want growth, if you want your life to finally look the way you've always imagined it could, then stop waiting. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for someone to notice your potential. That wait is costing you your future. Right now, in this very moment, you have two choices. Keep sitting in the same spot, hoping things will somehow fix themselves. Or stand up, take responsibility, and do the hard work that only you can do. You know the truth already. Deep down, you feel it. You know you've been stalling. You know there's more you could be doing, more effort you could be putting in. But it's easier to pretend you're not ready. It's safer to say, I'll start tomorrow, or I need more clarity. Those excuses might comfort you for a day or two, but they destroy your future if you keep holding on to them. The truth is harsh. Success doesn't wait for anyone. Growth doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Progress doesn't care if you're tired or unsure or nervous. The only thing that matters is whether you're willing to do the work. That's it. Nothing more. No tricks, no magic formulas, no secret shortcuts. Just you versus the work, every single day. You can't outsource your discipline. No one is going to build your body, your business, your mindset, or your future for you. No one is going to do the early mornings, the late nights, or the uncomfortable moments on your behalf. That's your job, and it's not supposed to be easy. That's why so few people actually do it, and that's exactly why you must. You don't need to feel confident before you act. You build confidence through action. Every hard task you complete chips away at doubt. Every time you show up and do the work, even when you don't feel like it, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. That self-trust is how you win, not with hype or talk or waiting for conditions to be perfect. What are you really waiting for? Are you waiting for someone to push you? Because if they haven't by now, they won't. Are you waiting for the fear to disappear? Because it won't. Fear doesn't leave you alone until you confront it. Are you waiting for the timing to line up perfectly? Because it never will. You're not stuck. You're just delaying the uncomfortable truth that growth only comes through effort. sacrifice, and doing the work no one else wants to do. The question is, are you willing to go through that discomfort for what you want? Or will you stay in the same place, blaming everything and everyone except yourself? The most powerful shift you can make is to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Because the only thing holding you back isn't lack of opportunity or support. It's the belief that you need more than you already have to begin. That belief is false. You don't need more. You need to act. You need to commit to doing what's required. Day in and day out. That's where the transformation happens. Doing the hard work yourself means showing up when nobody claps. It means staying focused and distractions are everywhere. It means holding yourself accountable when no one is watching. And it means taking ownership of your life, fully, completely, without excuses. That's real power. People will tell you it's okay to take it easy. They'll say you deserve to rest, or that life's too short to work that hard. But understand this, the people who are ahead of you didn't get there by taking it easy. They got there by doing what others weren't willing to do. They got there by sacrificing comfort today for freedom tomorrow. You say you want to succeed? Prove it. You say you're serious? Show it. Don't post about it. Don't talk about it. Don't hope for it. Work for it. Quietly, relentlessly, without waiting, without asking, without doubting. Just do it. You might not know all the steps, but that's okay. You don't need to have everything figured out to take the first one. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a strong decision. A decision that says, I will show up, no matter what. That mindset beats talent. That mindset beats privilege. That mindset beats luck. And yes, it's going to be tough. It's going to feel lonely. It's going to challenge every part of you. But when you stop waiting and start building, you'll begin to change. You'll develop a work ethic that becomes your armor. You'll create habits that give you power. You'll start to feel proud of yourself, not for where you are, but for how far you're willing to go. Hard work isn't punishment. It's the path. It's the proof that you're serious. The more you do, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more you realize how unstoppable you really are. But none of that happens if you keep waiting. None of that happens if you keep hesitating. The moment you stop waiting, everything shifts. Your mindset changes. Your focus sharpens. Your confidence rises. Because now you're no longer hoping. You're doing. You don't need a push. You need to push yourself. You don't need permission. You need to give yourself a deadline. You don't need comfort. You need clarity. Clarity that your future depends on the actions you take today, not tomorrow. Not when you're motivated. Not when it's easy. Today. So stop scrolling. Stop talking. Stop dreaming without doing. Start putting in the work. Start creating results. Start becoming the person you're meant to be. Through effort, through sweat, through consistency. If you want more from life, then earn it. Don't wait for the world to hand it to you, because it won't. But it will respect those who earn it. It will reward those who fight for it. This is your moment. You've waited long enough. It's time to stop waiting and do the hard work yourself, because no one else will, and because your future depends on it. Number 10. Create your success without expecting handouts ever. No one is coming to give you a better life, and that is exactly why you must build one yourself. The truth might sting, but it sets you free. No handout, no favor, no shortcut will build the kind of life you're dreaming about. Waiting for someone to pull you up, to fix your situation, or to give you a lucky break is a waste of your time, your talent, and your life. Because the people who win in this world are not the ones who wait. They're the ones who take control. They earn their success through discipline, sacrifice, and relentless effort. They don't ask for a seat at the table. They build their own. You've got to stop expecting help. Help might come. It might not. But your future should never depend on someone else's generosity or timing. That's weakness disguised as hope. If you're serious about your goals, then it's time to stop looking around for someone to make it easier and start taking the hard road yourself. The road where you carry your own weight, make your own decisions, and take full ownership of your outcome. Because here's the harsh reality. Handouts come with a price. They make you dependent. They make you hesitate. They teach you to wait instead of act. And slowly, they erode your confidence, your self-worth, and your drive. You start thinking you're only valuable when someone helps you, only capable when someone says so. That's not success. That's survival on borrowed time. Real success comes when you decide, once and for all, that no one owes you anything, and that everything you want is worth fighting for on your own. That's when you grow. That's when your potential kicks in. Because now every move you make is yours. Every win is yours. Every step forward, even when it's slow or ugly or lonely, becomes a symbol of your power and your self-reliance. And yes, it will be hard. Some days will feel unfair. Some days you'll wonder why others seem to get ahead easier. Some days you'll watch people get handed things you've been working for with blood, sweat, and sacrifice. But none of that matters. Because when you stop expecting handouts, you stop being distracted by what anyone else has or get. You stay focused on building what's yours, the right way, with pride, with character, and with ownership. That's the difference between people who live on borrowed success and people who create something that lasts. The ones who get it handed to them, they don't appreciate it. They don't protect it. They can't repeat it. But when you build it from scratch, when you struggle for it, when you push through the pain and confusion and failure to get it, you'll never let it slip through your hands. You'll guard it. You'll grow. You'll multiply it. Because you know exactly what it cost you. Don't get it twisted. Wanting something bad enough doesn't mean it will appear. You can't wish your way into a better life. You can't hope your way into wealth, confidence, freedom, or purpose. You've got to work. You've got to sacrifice. You've got to suffer in silence and grind when no one's cheering. And even then, you might have to start over more than once. But that's the path. That's what separates the driven with the dependent. People will doubt you when you stop asking for help and start standing on your own. They'll call you stubborn, selfish, unrealistic. But what they don't understand is that you're not doing this to prove anything to anyone. You're doing this because you refuse to be owned by anyone else's favor or approval. You're doing this because you want to live life on your terms, with no strings attached, no debts owed, and no shame in your journey. You might not have money. You might not have connections. You might not even have a clear path right now. But you have one thing that no one can take you. Your ability to start where you are, with what you have, and begin building from the ground up. You don't need everything. You just need a reason. And if your reason is strong enough, nothing will stop you. When you stop expecting handouts, you take control of your timeline. You stop waiting. You start executing. You stop wishing. You start creating. You stop doubting. You start deciding. That's where the shift happens, where excuses die and momentum begin. That shift is what transforms average people into leaders, into creators, into champions. You don't need someone to open a door for you. Build your own door. If there's no opportunity, create one. If no one supports you, become your own biggest supporter. If they ignore you, outwork them until they can't. The moment you stop relying on what might be given to you and instead claim what you are willing to earn, you change the game entirely. You've seen people succeed with less than you. You've watched people rise up from harder beginning. That should light a fire in you. Not because you want to compare, but because it proves it's possible. It proves that no matter how far behind you feel, you are never truly out of the game, unless you quit. The real reward isn't even in the success itself. It's in who you become by building. It's in the discipline you develop, the courage you discover, the independence you grow. These are things no one can give you. And that's exactly why they're worth more than anything money or favors can buy. So draw the line. From this day forward, stop hoping for help and start being your own help. Don't wait for someone to invest in you. Be the one who invests in yourself. Don't hope someone will open a door. Walk to the wall and start knocking it down brick by brick. Build slowly, if you must, but build with their own two hands. That is where the fulfillment lives, in earning it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be committed. Committed to doing it without shortcut. Committed to becoming the kind of person who can handle success because they've earned it. Committed to walking through the fire and not backing down when it hurts. This is how you separate yourself. This is how you grow into the version of yourself you've always wanted to become. Not by asking for help, not by waiting for luck, not by hoping someone shows up to save you, but by standing up, taking control, and deciding that you will create your success no matter what. And when you do, no one will be able to take it from you, because you didn't borrow it. You built with pain, with sweat, with heart, with discipline. So stop expecting handouts. Start earning everything, because you can, and because your future depends on it.